Cold weather on the way as we head into the night, especially for northeastern KELOLAND, with low temperatures dropping below zero with clearer skies and a calm breeze, not to mention still a lot of snow on the ground up that way. Elsewhere, we're going to be talking about teens with a few flurries also not out of the question in a couple of areas, including towards Sioux Falls and to a lesser extent out in Rapid City. A chillier day tomorrow, 30s and 20s for a majority of the area. At best, we're talking about either side of 40 over to the west. We'll talk about the rest of your 7-day forecast, which features a little bit of everything coming up in a bit. Until then, First to 4 starts now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, KELOLAND News First at 4.
Police body cam video shows officers responding to the deadly school shooting in Nashville as another community is reeling from gun violence.
Plus, several cities in KELOLAND are starting to prepare for spring flooding along the Big Sioux River.
And later, the Levitt at the Falls is getting people ready for summer as it announces its first concert for the season. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. Police have released body camera footage of officers in Nashville responding to Monday's school shooting.
And we want to warn you that some of the images in this report may be disturbing. 6 people were killed at the Covenant School, including 3 children.
Christian Benavides has the latest from Nashville.
Body camera footage shows police officers running past hallways lined with cubbies as they responded to Monday's deadly school shooting. Surveillance video captured images of the shooter firing through a glass door to gain access to the Covenant School, a private Christian school in Nashville.
We have no evidence that individuals were specifically targeted.
Police identified the attacker as 28-year-old Audrey Hale, a former student. Police say the shooter's parents told them Hale was under a doctor's care for an emotional disorder, and they were unaware Hale had legally purchased 7 guns, 3 of which were used in the shooting.
Parents felt that she should not own weapons. They were under the impression that when she sold the one weapon that she did not own anymore.
Outside the school, a memorial to the victims, 3 school staff members and 3 9-year-old students, is growing. Many say the quick actions of emergency responders prevented an even deadlier attack.
The training that was done, coordination with the police and fire and Office of Emergency Management, all of that yesterday, we know, saved lives.
Members of this tight-knit community are coming to show their support. Many know someone affected by this tragedy.
I can't stop thinking about the parents who woke up today and the families who woke up today with an empty bed.
Carolyn Lucas came to pay her respects. Her children attend a nearby school.
You just wonder when is the call coming for you?
This is one of more than 3 dozen mass shootings this month alone in this country. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Nashville.
And Nashville police tell CBS News that the shooter may have had other targets, possibly including family members and a local mall.
A judge says the city of Sioux Falls can proceed with the demolition of a mansion. The judge said the demolition would be, quote, incredibly wasteful, unfortunate, and somewhat irrational, while also denying the homeowner's motion for a preliminary injunction. The mansion has sat unfinished and vacant for years, leading to vandalisms, complaints, and fines. The city pushed to demolish the home last month, but the owners filed a lawsuit saying the house is about 90% complete. However, the judge said the court must follow precedent.
Watertown and Cottington County are preparing for possible flooding this spring. Crews will be setting up pumps later this week. Free sandbags will be available at the Sheriff's Office as well as the Office of Emergency Management. Sand will also be available at Sailboat Landing at Lake Compasca starting tomorrow. Currently, the flood forecast says that there is a 98% chance of moderate flooding in the area along the Big Sioux River.
Well, we probably did some more melting today.
Definitely. It feels pretty nice out there, actually.
It has certainly been a very nice day outside. We have been getting exactly what we need in terms of not having the melting process go too quickly, but it's certainly eating through quite nicely all the same in many locations. We've had blue skies above several areas of KELOLAND. Winter, a prime example of that. You can see now on your screen 46 in Tripp County, but a breezy 46. There is a north wind there at 17 miles per hour. That cold front did push through through earlier today. Winds were out of the south, but we have had the turn occur on the anemometer. Meanwhile, with a view of Great Bear, 43, a west wind at 10 miles per hour. We're starting to see that turn. 43, one of the warmer days we've had this year. We still haven't hit 50 yet, but we have at least one chance this week, and likely more coming up as we head toward the weekend and the start of next week to finally crack through the half-century mark here in Sioux Falls. Until we get to that point, we can at least confirm Yankton did. 53 right now down in Yankton County. 29 in Huron. 22, though, for Aberdeen. It has been noticeably cooler to the northeast. 26 for Watertown. 24 in Mobridge, as well as Sisseton. Now, we have had a pretty nice day overall. Decent amount of sunshine for a majority of the area, but now cloud cover's building back in again. But that's really been the only blemish to an otherwise pretty nice day. We've had a dry cold front move on through this wind to continue to sag on down to the south and east. You can see the boundary just making its way towards Sioux Falls. This will continue to move on through. High pressure will build in its wake, and that's going to set the stage for a very cold night to the northeast with sub-zero low temperatures. I feel bad even just saying that, considering we are knocking on the door of April. Elsewhere, we're talking about teens for overnight low temperatures. Highs for your day tomorrow do take a step backward on the backside of that front. 20s and 30s in southeastern KELOLAND, largely in the 20s up to the northeast. Watertown might not even hit the 20-degree mark, even with a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon. And out west, we'll see 30s, maybe some low 40s toward the Wyoming border. Now, we do have some warmer days on the way, but then we also have some rain and maybe even a rumble of thunder or two in a few areas. We'll talk about that coming up.
Thanks, Adam. A bill proposed in the North Dakota legislature would ensure Native American children in foster care or adoptive homes are placed with a family in the same tribe or culture. This is in response to state and federal agencies removing Native children from their homes and placing them with families outside of their culture. The bill would give tribal governments the final say as to where a Native child will be placed. Tribal members say it is imperative for the sustainability of their culture.
We had generations of Native Americans that were lost. They didn't understand who they were, didn't understand where they come from. And now there's been a real strong movement amongst Native communities to really get back to their roots, get back to their culture, to really find out who they are. And so with the language in this bill, it's to protect those children from becoming lost and not forgetting their culture and where they come from and why they should be proud of that.
South Dakota had a similar bill during this legislative session that was killed in the House. Several tribes in the state condemned the inaction of lawmakers to address the welfare of Native American children.
Investigators in North Dakota say that a train derailment this weekend was likely caused by a broken rail. More than 24 Canadian Pacific train cars derailed in Richland County, which is about 30 miles from the South Dakota border. The crash spilled hazardous materials like liquid asphalt and ethylene glycol. No one was hurt, and officials say that there is no sign of environmental impacts at this time. However, the landowner says that there will be more testing.
I've talked to the people as far as the railroad, as far as cleanup and stuff like that, and there will be environmental testing and issues like that going forward throughout the rest of the year. We have to make sure we work with the railroad that the heavy traffic that's going down our roads at this vulnerable time with some thawing, that make sure that the roads are put back in place too.
It's not yet clear how much of the chemicals were released, but there are no waterways nearby, and the chemical spills were contained at the site of the derailment.
After the break, senators are looking into the recent bank failures and what sort of regulations could be put in place to prevent future problems.
Plus, we look at how much renewable